So there's one question I get asked all the time in the comments, and that is, what games should I stream to Twitch? And maybe you're asking the wrong question. Maybe something else you should be asking is, what time should you stream to Twitch? If you're interested in that, stay tuned. I've got something interesting for you. What is going on, guys? Chad here from How To Tech, the channel dedicated to helping you take your tech to the next level. And like I mentioned in the intro today, we're going to be talking about when is the best times to stream on Twitch. And this is something that definitely varies depending on where you live. So let's get into all of that information and what the statistics kind of show, and then also what common sense would tell us as people to, what would be the best time to stream. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Getting started, I want to go ahead and list one thing before we get into what time is the best time to stream for you. So the first is a statement, and that is people tend to do what is most convenient for them. And it's the same way with streaming. You're gonna stream whenever it is most convenient for you. A lot of us have jobs or is going to school or busy doing other things throughout the day, have other commitments and responsibilities. It makes it hard to just say, hey, I'm gonna stream at 11 o'clock in the afternoon, or I'm gonna go ahead and stream whenever. So whenever you run into these kind of situations, it just kind of puts most people in the same, category that people are going to tend to do this whenever it's most convenient. And for a lot of people, in the way that things go on in our day-to-day lives, that's towards the end of the day. With that being said, if you look at stream numbers of people streaming, those numbers tend to spike insanely from, depending on your region, obviously, from about 4 o'clock to say about 10 to 11 o'clock. That's whenever it's most active with more streamers, obviously depending on your region. So with that being said, this shows that there is an influx, or there's a lot more people streaming during that time, which means whatever category or game that you're streaming under, it's probably gonna have more people, which makes your discoverability harder. So how can we combat this issue? Well, what we can do is we can stream whenever it's inconvenient for most people, which makes you more relevant in the list of people streaming, because for your region or for your time period that you're gonna be streaming, there's gonna be a lot less people streaming with you. So since we know what time frame is convenient for most people to stream, let's look at the opposite, because you're gonna have a higher chance of visibility during that time slot, that is. So what time is that? That's typically gonna be early morning to mid-afternoon. And the reason why is because people are sleeping. People are going about their day, they're at school, they're at work, and there are tons of people that want to watch people streaming, but there's just a lot less, and this is gonna help your visibility. With all that being said, I do want to go ahead and state I understand time zones definitely play an importance into this. The US has a very wide span of time zones, which means if it might be really early morning for somebody, say on the West Coast, it might be getting close to kind of the afternoon for somebody on the East Coast. So it might not be as reasonable of a time to stream, depending on where you live, obviously. And also, there's other countries that come into play. For example, if you're in the US, you have to understand that there is another market in, the EU that might speak English that could be affecting whether or not you pull in more or less viewers. So just keep those reasonable expectations for that in mind, but do understand there are going to be a lot less people in your region streaming in the early morning hours. It's just not convenient for most people. I also want to go ahead and give you guys some other information that I think is really cool. There is this website called Twitch Strike, and it is really neat because it essentially gives you the best times of day to stream certain games and whether or not a game is going to do well depending on what time you start streaming it. So if you are a medium to smaller streamer, this is something that can help you as well with your streaming endeavors. So alright guys, that's going to be all for this video. If you enjoyed, you know what to do. Go ahead and destroy that like button and get subscribed to the channel if you haven't already. If you want to join our community, check out our community Discord, linked down below. And if you want to support the channel financially, our Patreon is down there as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Chad from How To Tech, helping you take your tech and your stream to the next level. We'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.